Good day. I'm gonna do my first re-review of a beer because the last time I had it, I think I got maybe it was a bad batch, bad cans, or something like that. And the most recent batch that I picked up of Epiphany from Foundation was very nice. I split a can or two with my girlfriend. And I thought it deserves a re-review totally because it was very good. There was something I could tell that wasn't quite right about the batch I got a little over 2 months ago. This can was canned 2 weeks ago, so not totally crazy fresh, but I bet it's still very good. And yeah, the last time I had this, it just seemed more malt forward, even like when I had it the day after it was canned. And this just seemed like it was exactly what I wanted it to be, and what I remembered it being. And I thought I should assess it at the top of its game to be totally fair, because I found a lot of these small brewers, not every batch is perfect. It's really hard for them to do that, especially when they're expanding like this. And that looks like a nice glowing orange, and I can already smell the aromas. But I think Foundation has been expanding, and they got much bigger fermenters and more fermenters. And when you're trying new, out old recipes on new equipment, it can be difficult. But this, yeah, it looks pretty dark. I made sure to get the sediment in there and shook it up a little bit, because I noticed last time I had this, the first pour, where there was almost no sediment, wasn't as good as the second one. Well, that is just very, very nice. Yes, they capture the tropical and intense orange juice in this beer, and it's just straight juice forward. It's not super dank, green, resinous, and stuff like that. It just smells like orange juice and pineapple juice, peach rings, all of that stuff is in the nose here, and it's a pretty substantial aroma. 2 months ago when I got this, the aroma just was not that strong, and it was kind of malty Cheerios-y. This is just so bright and beautiful and juicy smelling. And that's what I think what they accomplished really well at Epiphany with this beer, is to get all that complex fruitiness out of the hops without so much green salad, vegetal things happening, smoky onion, which I'm not against that, but I really enjoy having it in a beer like this. They use same hops as they have for, I don't know, ever since they started making this. Cascade, Citra, Columbus, Ella, and Mosaic. It's really the Citra and Mosaic they're coming out the most. But Ella is a really nice floral, very bright hop from Australia that I really like, and I think that also helps to move this away from the intense resinous dank character you might get from other Mosaic and Citra beers. Yeah, so juicy. I mean, there's a little bit of bitterness and dryness in this. They say 85 IBUs, but they say aromatics of hops without any astringent bitterness, and they really captured that pretty well. And the finish, it isn't too bitter. It's not too much like I have a cat tongue going on in my mouth right now. That's very nice. Even at 2 weeks, maybe I can tell that it's lost a little bit, but the aroma is just beautiful. And there are a few little chunks in there, but they're only adding to the flavor and making it even better. I'm gonna add some more. And the carbonation somewhat explodes a little bit when I pour it in there, but it's not super highly carbonated. And that's very nice. It's not insanely soft and bitter and fluffy on the tongue like some even more hazy carbonated New England IPAs can be, but you can sort of see there's a little bit of darkness from my finger behind that, so there's a little bit of translucence. It's not completely murky and turbid like some. But I'm going to have to drink the other can of this soon because I can tell it's starting to lose a little bit, but it's still really pleasant and so fruity. The flavor, yeah, it does build up a little bit of bitterness. And a little bit of a minerally sort of thing is happening in the finish too. But the orange, like fresh sweet orange juice, just rules over this once it's in the mouth. It's got a little bit of a spicy black pepper, almost Earl Grey thing happening. Before, when I was smelling it, it had a lot of tropical fruit and peach and stuff, but now it's moving a little bit towards the citrus fruit, I'd have to say. Orange and lots of grapefruit too. But it's just a perfect amount of slight sweetness and bitterness. And the haze in there adds a little bit of body, even though it's not very full body. It's definitely not syrupy. Like I had the Hobbit juice from Beard Brewing Company recently, and that one was very much a like West Coast Stone type double IPA that was a lot stronger. This is 8%, that one is 9.2. And it just seems like a lot of those really big double IPAs are just really bitter, and they also have a syrupy sweetness that makes it a little bit less palatable than something like this, that is much more like drinking a juice cocktail. And this is, yeah, my favorite kind of double IPA. I'm gonna have to reassess it and probably give it like an 85 or something. Maybe higher, maybe 87. When I had it real fresh, like I think 2 days after I got it, I was really very happy. When I first tasted this, when I smelled it, I could tell, oh, this is way better than the last Epiphany I got. And it's just very pleasant. It's hard to stop drinking. It's not one of the double IPAs. It's really gonna explode your mouth with every single flavor, like resinous and all the fruits and spices. Like some Trillium and Treehouse double IPAs. This is sort of probably a good gateway double IPA for people who are just like, oh, every double IPA is too big, too sweet, too bitter, too hoppy. This is one where you can give to people, and it's just so much like orange juice that if you don't like orange juice, you wouldn't like this beer. I think an 87 is probably good. It is worth the hype if you get a good batch and have it when it's still very fresh. So I'll probably keep going up and getting more, especially because they're going to expand and take over the space that Bissell Brothers owns next door once Bissell Brothers moves out. So hopefully they'll keep doing different interesting IPAs, because their other IPAs and beers are totally different. Their Afterglow IPA is very much kind of English style in a way, and sort of crossed with old-fashioned IPAs, but then the New England juicy, hazy qualities, except that one is very berry focused. This one is just really citrus focused, and they do it very well. So I'll do 87 for Foundation Epiphany version 2.0.